320 COVID-19 tests have been carried out since Tuesday's report. All are negative for the SARS-CoV-2. 736 people are currently in isolation, either at a government facility or in their homes, as required by the Medical Officer of Health, Dr. John Lee. The total number of COVID-19 vaccines administered to date is 49,561. So far, 30,476, that's 47% of the estimated population, have received at least one dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, with 29% having completed the two-dose course. Several businesses are targeted in a series of burglaries. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says just after 6:10 a.m. on Tuesday, police responded to West Bay Road, where it was reported that two businesses located in the same plaza were burgled. Both businesses received structural damage and cash was stolen from one of the affected businesses. A third commercial burglary was reported to have taken place at a business located in the Industrial Park area of Georgetown, where entry was gained and attempts were made to steal property without success. A police officer is assaulted while transporting a, quote, woman in distress to the hospital. Details from Radio Cayman's Paula Cal.
The RCIPS says on Tuesday afternoon, officers responded to a call for service on Eastern Avenue near Godfrey Nixon Way. Once there, they noticed a woman who appeared to be in distress. They got her in their car and were on their way to the Cayman Islands Hospital when the woman allegedly became agitated and aggressive. Police says she broke through the divider in the vehicle and assaulted one of the officers. This prompted the officers to pull over near the CNB roundabout, and other units attended to help restrain the woman. Emergency services also arrived and the woman was transported to the Cayman Islands Hospital via ambulance. One of the police officers was treated for minor injuries at the hospital and released. For Radio Cayman News, I am Paul Akal.
A cautious reminder from police for the upcoming Easter holidays. This report now from Radio Cayman's Dion Anglin.
In anticipation of the upcoming Easter holidays, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is encouraging residents to be cautious over the long holiday weekend. They're reminding the public of some safety steps that can be taken to protect themselves and their property over this long weekend, whether you will be camping away from home or enjoying other festivities during the period. Camping is an Easter tradition in the Cayman Islands, and this means that many people will be leaving their residences unoccupied for the long weekend. Unfortunately, this may present an opportunity for criminals to take advantage of the vulnerabilities of your homes. When preparing to leave home, police say be sure to properly lock and secure your premises before going camping. Be sure to leave lights on inside and outside the property. If you possess light timers, it is best to have these set up for this weekend. Consider storing valuable items within interior rooms in the residence and locking these doors. This will make it harder for would-be thieves to access these items. If you have neighbors who will not be camping, consider asking them to keep an eye on your property for you. Alternatively, if you have other family members who are not camping, ask them to come by and check your property a few times over the weekend. Police say while you are out camping and enjoying other activities over the holiday weekend, be sure to secure your belongings when camping. Do not leave valuable items lying around unattended, especially where they can be viewed from outside the tent. Keep an eye on your valuables at all times. Pay very close attention to your children for their safety, whether camping or during other public gatherings. Use the buddy system and ensure that someone knows where you are at all times. Ensure that you keep your mobile phones charged and in good condition at all times so that in the event of an emergency, you're able to call for help. Be sure not to drink and drive, but to exercise caution on our roadways and follow the traffic law while traveling. Police are also encouraging residents to ensure you obey the national conservation laws, observing season closures and limits. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Dion Anglin.
The Chamber of Commerce candidate forums continue tonight, featuring Georgetown West candidates. But on Tuesday night, the forum was held in Georgetown South, where candidates Barbara Connolly and Alaric Lindsay discussed a range of issues. Incumbent Barbara Connolly says if re-elected, she will continue to listen to the concerns of the community and has established a constituency council to take representation to the next level.
We have achieved a lot, but there is a lot more to be done.
Challenger Alaric Lindsay says voters need to grade the performance of government the way students are graded, not just on their performance in one area like the COVID-19 lockdown, but across the spectrum of their responsibilities.
So I would give them a feel for public education. I would give them a feel for the environment, for failure to enforce environmental laws. I'll give them a feel for healthcare.
You can watch tonight's forum live on Radio Cayman's YouTube channel and Facebook page. The Central Caribbean Marine Institute releases details of their Quiet Oceans study. Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins has more.
After lockdown last year, the CCMI team studied 5 dive snorkel tourism sites on Grand Cayman and 2 sites on Little Cayman. They compared findings from 2020 to surveys done in pre-COVID 2018.
So what we found was that by the time we got back in the water and counted fish in July of 2020, we saw a huge jump in the number of fish that we're seeing in and around the harbor, almost more than 2-fold increase. So this was really important because this meant that the fish responded really quickly to this lack of activity. I think that's really positive finding because it means that, the fish are there. They didn't just magically appear from nowhere. If we take efforts to ease our impacts on the reef, then it shows that they can, in fact, rebound really quickly.
CCMI's Director of Research, Dr. Gretchen Goodbody-Gringley, says there was also an increase in certain species.
In particular, we saw more surgeonfish, chubs, and jacks, as well as grouper, parrotfish. So parrotfish, as well as surgeonfish and chubs, are all very important herbivores. They eat a lot of algae on our reef, and some of our previous work at CCMI has shown that those species contribute to a large degree of algal removal. So the fact that these 3 groups of herbivores increased over this period, again, is a sign of hope because the more herbivores we have, the healthier our entire reef system will be, and it will increase the resilience of our corals and their long-term stability.
However, fish activity has already begun to change.
Even though we saw this initial big jump in fish populations, as we started to, resume our life as normal and activities started to take place again on the ocean, we started to see a very gradual decline in fish. So even just our normal local activities, which we consider very minimal, do in fact have an impact.
For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For more information about CCMI, visit reefresearch.org or email info@reefresearch.org. Hundreds of Clifton Hunter High School students get a first-hand look into career options available to them at the school's annual career fair. Here's CIGTV's Donna Bush with more.
On Friday, close to 450 students who attend the Clifton Hunter High School had the opportunity to talk to those who are already in careers that they're interested in.
We felt that this team was quite important to not only engage our partners in giving an opportunity to meet with our students, but also to engage the school in collaborative partnerships, collaborative programs that can enhance the welfare and well-being of our students. So this year's career fair is actually one of our largest ever. As you can see, we're using our gymnasium, which offers us not only more room, but much more space to engage a wider range of partners. And they have really enjoyed the change. They've enjoyed the new venue. They're now able to walk about more freely and engage in conversation with more public and private sector partners.
Career fairs are held at high schools across the Cayman Islands each year in an effort to ensure students are educated about the various career opportunities that exist and what it takes to have careers of their choice.
That's CIGTV's Donna Bush reporting there. And finally in the news.
Them doctors down at Health City, they got Cayman and so healthy, they don't have no more patients.
Due to popular demand, Cayman's hilarious comedy show Rundown has been extended with additional shows this weekend starting tomorrow night. Rundown brings this year a mix of comedy, satire, and songs about living life in Cayman, told through a collection of skits, monologues, and music. This year's edition sees newcomers to the mix and many familiar faces, including Caymanian actor and radio personality Matt Brown.
if you know somebody who hasn't been to Rundown, is your duty as a Caymanian, or is your duty as a part of the Rundown community to grab them and bring them to the show.
Tickets are $25 for adults and $20 for children 16 and under. For tickets and more information, email cncf@artscayman.org or call 949-5477. That is your latest local news from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm Shanda Gallego.